you so much, sir. And now we also want to call on Barrister Ismael Ahmed, who was so revered by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he was appointed as the chairman of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas CNG initiative. He coordinates the operations of the presidential initiative designed to alleviate the effects of fuel subsidy, to help us in our dear country Nigeria by offering cheaper, more affordable and clearer energy options.
Good morning. The professor that spoke last said that he didn't need a prepared speech. I need a prepared speech, let me be honest. I need a prepared speech, especially speaking after him. And thank you for inviting us. I was told about this program last night, and I knew that I had to be here because it speaks right to the heart of what we are trying to do and what this administration is trying to do to unlock the investment that is needed in the gas, industry for Nigeria. And just like the prof said, I've always repeated it as well wherever I go, that this is a gas country with some oil as opposed to an oil country with some gas. So thank you so much for having us. I know that it's talking about energy poverty as one of the greatest constraints on our economic potential. And in Nigeria, energy poverty continues to affect both households, industries, stifling productivity and growth. Yet, we are sitting on extraordinary wealth beneath our feet. Nigeria holds about 200 trillion cubic feet of gas reserves, so which makes us the biggest in Africa and among the top 10 globally. The paradox is clear: we are energy resource rich, but we are energy industrialized poor. And this has to change, which means the problem is in the translation from what we have to what we can get out of it. That is why I think the country declared 2021 to 2030 as the decade of gas, a period that is supposed to be dedicated to unlocking full value of our gas resources for domestic use, industrialization, and export growth. Now, natural gas is not just a transition fuel. It is a bridge between poverty and prosperity. It provides a cleaner, more efficient pathway to sustainable energy while supporting our commitments to reduce carbon emissions and meet our net zero 2060 goals. For us in this country, gas is not a stopgap. It is a strategic enabler. It can power industries, generate jobs, lower transportation costs, and drive the inclusive growth envisioned in our National Development Plan. Through gas, we can industrialize faster, grow cleaner, and lift more Nigerians into prosperity. Now, at the Pi-CNG, the President created it to translate this decade of gas vision into tangible national reality. Our mission is simple: to mainstream compressed natural gas as an affordable, accessible, and cleaner energy alternative for transportation, power, and industry. And in just under 2 years, we have achieved significant progress. Thousands of vehicles have been converted to CNG use with a target of 1 million from 2027 upward. More than about 250 conversion and refueling centers established across about 20 states, up from just a handful at the dawn of 2023. We have trained about 5,000 technicians, certified them under our National Skill Development Scheme. Our partnerships and investments, looking at from the Greenfield to Dangote to Boa, Lafarge, and all those major industries, we have attracted about $1 billion into the CNG infrastructure already. And our logistics and our innovation. These efforts are already reducing fuel costs in some places, lowering emissions, creating jobs, and most importantly, ensuring that Nigeria experience the tangible benefits of our gas to wealth in their daily lives. Now, the journey from resource results depends on financing. For Africa's gas revolution to succeed, we must unlock sustainable financings at scale. The PIA in 2021 has already set the foundation for improving regulatory clarity and fiscal stability. But financing gas infrastructure, pipelines, processing plants, conversion centers, requires blended capital, public and private partnerships. The amount of money that is required to be infused into this system for it to breed the kind of result we want to see it breed simply cannot be done by government alone. So multilateral concessional funds, green financing, transition bonds, sovereign guarantees, and de-risking tools, everybody has to get involved. Through us, the Pi-CNG, we are demonstrating how government can play a catalytic role, not by replacing private capital, but by de-risking entry, building confidence, and enabling markets to flourish. That is the job of government. The job of government is not to do business directly, it's to create an enabling environment so that business people can get in and see a line sight to profitability and ultimately growth. Now, we must continue to make Nigeria, the gas sector, a safe, transparent, and profitable destination for investors, both local and global. Now, energy access is the beginning. Economic transformation is the goal. Gas must fuel industries that manufacture, export, and employ. That is our national strategy priorities. Our priorities are to power generation, industrial clusters, transportation costs to come down. Each of these applications directly contributes to reducing poverty and improving livelihoods and enhancing Nigeria's competitiveness. Ultimately, what we are asking is that there is a big potential in gas. And we are happy that EINGICE, I believe that's how it's pronounced, EINGICE, right? You know, that we are calling, this conference brings together the right minds and the right momentum. The task before us is not to be theoretical about it. It's not just to have speaking, opportunities at podiums, at conferences. The task before us is to profoundly contribute to investing in the gas sector to make it a reality. So every megawatt of power generated means a child can study at night in a village. Every CNG bus or car converted means a family can save more from their transportation costs. Every kilometer of pipeline built brings industry closer to communities. So government have to continue enabling reforms that attract capital and innovation. Investors and financiers have to see Nigeria and Africa not as high risk, but as high return frontiers of opportunity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a nation where every home and business has reliable, affordable energy, where transport runs on our own clean gas, where our industries boom, our air is cleaner, and our people and citizens are employed in new energy value chains. That is a vision that is within reach, and that is something that we can work on. Now, that is my speech. Let me now speak from where I know how to speak from. I'm basically saying that we are open for business in the gas sector and the CNG. This government has made it very clear through this initiative that it is willing to back up your finances, your investments, and your capital to be able to grow this in multiple folds. And I hope that with you who are private sector players here and who are public sector players, you would continue to play your role to attract the necessary investment so that we can now exit poverty in the real sense of the word, and we can no longer remain the country of just being potential, of having things under our feet and not be able to utilize it. Thank you so much for having us today.